Hey kings, queens, and in-betweens, it's me, Hamburgerity, and today I want to talk to you about Golden Globe nominated film 2021's Music. So I don't know if y'all know, but famous Australian pop musician Sia has just come out with a brand new film, and it's called Music. Music centers around a young autistic girl. Now, some of you out there may be aware, and as you can see, I'm wearing my unicorn ears and horn today because I really need to feel safe while talking about this movie. Not because it offended me, but because it offended so many other people. Oh my god. You go to IMDb.com and everyone is just completely pooping on this movie. It's a poop shoot. It's a legitimate poop shoot. You know, most of the reviews, if you can even call them that, just basically labeling this film as ableist. Now, I don't know if y'all remember, but there was a film with Tom Cruise and Dustin Hoffman about 30 years ago, and it was called Rain Man, and it was a very early cinematic depiction of a fully autistic person. Fully autistic? I'm gonna get canceled just for saying that. I don't know the right words, okay? I'm not autistic. I don't have much to do with the autistic community. You know, there were autistic kids in high school. They were all obsessed with anime. That's about all I know, okay? But there was a film called Rain Man, and it was a pretty good film. You know, Tom Cruise doing his whole, you want to go to Sydney, Australia? You want to catch a Qantas plane? You gotta go to Sydney, Australia. It's Melbourne. He says Melbourne. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna cut that bit out probably. Yeah, it's a pretty good depiction of someone, who is a low-functioning autist. And this was back before we had things like Asperger's and the autism spectrum. But for a lot of people, that film would have been the introduction to the general mental health disorder that we know now as autism. All these reviews, all these people coming out on Twitter accusing Sia of being ableist, they're saying that the depiction of autistic people, or this particular autistic person, it's doing harm to the community. And all these autistic people coming in and saying, I'm autistic and I'm nothing like that. Yeah, okay, because autism is not just like one thing anymore. It's a spectrum, It's a spectrum disease. And saying that Maddie Ziegler, she plays the young autistic girl, and she's not autistic herself, and we'll get into that in a minute. But saying that Maddie Ziegler's depiction of autism is inaccurate, well, that criticism is inaccurate, because there are effing and jeffing autistic people that are like that. It says in the trivia section on IMDb, and I happen to know for a fact that if it makes it into the IMDb trivia section, then it's 100% true. It says in that trivia section that Maddie Ziegler used YouTube videos of autistic people melting down as part of her character research. So the way she moves and the sounds she makes and the way she portrays the meltdowns in the film, apparently, according to the IMDb trivia, is based on real life autistic people. So all these autistic people on the Twitter and the IMDb reviews saying that her portrayal is inaccurate, Well, yeah, okay, maybe it's not how you are as an autistic person, but for Christ's sake, there are autistic people out there that are like that. Now, the film in itself is pretty terrible, okay? Let's not joke about that. Again, the trivia section says that originally it wasn't meant to be a musical film. Sia wanted to make a movie because she's Sia. She's great. She wants to make a movie. Sure, why not? If I had the ability to make a movie, I would. I would be doing that. That's what y'all should be doing, making movies. Why the hell not? She wanted to make a movie. She got together some people, and then of course Warner Brothers was like, "Here's an extra $10 million. Can you throw in some great classic Sia tunes? Just shove them in wherever you like." And you can tell that's exactly what they did. There's just these music, these scenes that happen sporadically throughout the film, and there's no real context for them. The sets and the costumes, oh my god. I don't know where that $10 million went. It was not on the sets and the costumes, that's for sure. Henry Rollins makes a cameo in the movie, so maybe, I don't know, they had to pay him $10 million. But, God, where was I even going with any of this? The movie's bad. It's a bad movie, but there is the potential. There could have been something good in there if they focused less on shoehorning in terrible music sequences and, sort of fleshing out the main characters. Because all I knew about the movie was that it was about an autistic girl, and you start watching it and they introduce music, the titular character, who is autistic, and then we sort of cut to an AA meeting, and there's a young lady with her hair's gone, and it's Kate Hudson, and I didn't know it was Kate Hudson at first. I'm looking at this girl going, I know you. I know your face, your mannerisms. And I said, that's Kate Hudson. I couldn't believe it because she's always wearing these crop tops in the film with, her boobs on display. And I was like, this girl's got nice boobs. I didn't remember Kate Hudson having boobs that big. She's probably had a few kids. And when you have the kids, the boobs get bigger. It's a thing that happens. And it's why most women have kids, I believe, because they want those bigger boobs. But, Kate Hudson's in the movie, and she's a drug addict, and she's in AA. She's on parole because she stole some money or broke into a house or whatever. Who cares? And turns out she's the half-sister of the character Music, the autistic girl. And the grandmother that's looking after Music, she has a stroke, and she dies. And so Kate Hudson's character gets a call on her phone and has to go and, live with Music and look after her. And that's basically the movie. There's a neighbor character in it, who's black, and he helps take care of the character Music. He helps out. And the movie just kind of goes along for a bit without any complications, and you're kind of sitting there going, where's this all going? And then the girl, the autistic girl, she gets stung by a bee, and if you have a good mind for these sorts of things, you remember earlier on in the movie when they say that she's allergic to bees, and you go, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Is she going to die? Of course she's not going to die, because it's a goddamn feel-good movie. No, she doesn't die, but... And I'm not going to spoil this, because you might want to watch this movie. It was nominated for a Golden Globe, okay? So obviously there's something there that people are responding to. The girl goes to hospital. Kate Hudson, spirals out of control, starts drinking again, and sort of ruins things and gets into a bit of a predicament, and then digs herself out, and everybody lives happily ever after. That's basically the movie. It's not a very good movie. I guess the Sia songs are good if you like Sia. And Maddie Ziegler does a pretty good job. I don't know if she's acted before. I don't think she has, because in the credits it said introducing Maddie Ziegler. I know that she's done all the Sia video clips, the music videos, when they still used to do those. And the one with Shia LaBeouf and she's like grinding on him. I love that one. That's a great music video. So she'd done all those. She's great in this movie. I don't know, like, she's doing a pretty good Rain Man, really. He's basically Rain Man with sort of, he talks a bit more. She doesn't really talk in this. She sings at the end. Oops, spoiler. Sorry. She does sing at the end. Sort of. Mumble sings. I don't know. It's a thing. What else to say? Oh, yeah. All this effing and jeffing controversy. So there have been people complaining about the way that the characters in the movie handle music's... I feel stupid every time I say music, because that's her name. Her name is Music. The movie's called Music. Music is also, a thing you listen to. So every time I say it, I feel like I gotta clarify who and what I'm talking about. There was a lot of controversy about the way the characters in the film handled the autistic girls' panic attacks, freakouts, what do you call them? Meltdowns, okay, whatever. They would use this technique where they would sort of like jump on top of her and engulf her in a big hug. And I remembered sitting there watching and going, I don't think that's what you're supposed to do, but I don't know enough about autistic people. And, it's very unlikely that I would ever be in a situation where a low-functioning autistic person would require me to subdue them. And I certainly wouldn't... Ooh, what was that? I certainly wouldn't jump on them and engulf them in a hug, because I know they have a whole issue with being touched and, that kind of thing. Remember Warren from There's Something About Mary? He had a thing about his ears, and Ben Stiller went to, tell him I found the baseball behind your ear, and then Warren goes nuts. I mean, that's how I learned about, that kind of thing. The Farrelly brothers, they've done some great work about differently abled people. Check out their films. Something About Mary's got the Warren character, and there's a whole sort of subplot about Mary taking care of the special folk. And they did what's the Jim Carrey one? Oh my God, it's so funny. I love that movie. I can't remember the name of it. Me, Myself, and Irene. He's got advanced delusional paranoid schizophrenia. And I think that was a pretty good portrayal of someone with like what you classically have called split personality. There's another one where there's conjoined twins. I haven't seen that one. But those guys did a pretty good job. Shallow Hal is about, a fat chick. And, fat chicks need love too, is the moral of that story. Where are they going with this? The controversy. So, yeah, people are just up in arms about the way the character is portrayed, or the portrayal of the character. I don't know. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. And I just don't know what the issue is. Because the movie seems so woke. There's a black guy in it who's one of the lead characters, and he's with a white girl, and they don't mention race once. It's just like, yeah, whatever. We're living in New York City. Get over it. There's like a fat Hispanic kid, I think, and his parents are Asian, and his dad's a wife beater. I don't know. This was before like all the, Asian violence that's happening at the moment. So I guess that's not cool now, because, it was an Asian being violent to another Asian and to an Hispanic. I think the Hispanic kid dies too. Spoilers, I'm so sorry. I spoiled it again. Ooh. You're not gonna watch it. I think the Hispanic kid dies, and they just sort of they don't mention it. His penultimate scene is him ordering a service dog online, and you're like, why does he need a service dog? He doesn't have any lines in the movie. He's mute. So I think there's something going on with him. Maybe he's I just need you get service dogs as companions or whatever. I thought, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. But no, it turns out he was ordering it for music, which I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can just go to some website and those things are expensive, and this is America. It's not like they have healthcare or anything. But yeah, he just orders it online, and it's like, okay, whatever, because she has a thing about dogs. She loves dogs in the movie, and so she gets a dog at the end of the movie. Okay, but that guy just dies. His dad like full on kills him, and I think that would be problematic. Like if the movie came out today and there was an Asian man beating a Latino kid to death, people would have the ALM people. That's the Asian Lives Matter people. They would have something to say about it. They would say, no. Asians aren't violent. They are the ones that are having violence perpetrated against them. I don't know why I said all that. It's probably true. My unicorn ears are slipping. I gotta put them in more prominent position. But yeah, all this effing and jeffing about the portrayal by Maddie Ziegler. Again, it's basically Rain Man without any of the sort of nuance or levity. Tonally, the movie is just all over the place. They don't know if it's a comedy or if it's a drama or if it's a musical. They don't know what they're doing. And it is directed and story by Sia and produced by Sia. And, visually it's fine, I guess. It's again, it's so all over the place. And there is an okay movie buried in there somewhere, I guess. But ultimately, Rain Man's a better movie if you want to watch a movie about a low-functioning artist. If you want to see artistic people portrayed in other media, I highly recommend watching the cult sitcom Community. There's Arbed in that film, and that show, I should say. And you can see my hairline. I mean, what am I saying? This is my hair. Arbed and Abed. Abed the Arab. Abed is, doesn't mention too often his autism, although in one episode, Jeffrey Winger, one of the characters played by Joel McHale, comes out and says, you have Asperger's. And, we all know that as an audience. It's kind of obvious the way he acts and his obsession over pop culture and films. It's like, yeah, there's something neurally divergent about this kid. And that's fine. And that's a good portrayal, I guess, of someone on the autism spectrum. So yeah, check out Community. Don't watch music, because it's just not very good. I don't think I have too much more to say on it, other than the manufactured controversy. Because all it takes these days is one person on Twitter to say, oh, this is unacceptable. This is ableism. This is not an accurate portrayal of autism. Blah, 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 blah. And then it spirals out of control. The movie is so woke. Like I said, there's a black man with a white woman and the Latino kid who's raised by Asians. And I think he's gay maybe, or he just wants to dance. Whatever, The movie's full of rainbow flags and lots of color. And, it's all about people that are different, embracing themselves and living their life to the fullest. And yet, people out there wanted to cancel this movie because, for one thing, they didn't think it depicted autism the way they think it should be depicted. I don't know who makes them arbiters of, portrayals in cinema of autism. And also because the woman, or the young lady, I should say, Maddie Ziegler, who plays the titular music character, is neurotypical. And so, oh no, we can't have a normie playing an autistic person. That's disgusting. Here's the thing, though, okay? And listen carefully when I say this, because I'm only going to say it once. I only say everything that I say once. Why would I say anything more than once? The titular character, Music, she's basically full retard, okay? And if we've learned something from Tropic Thunder and that guy in blackface, Robert Downey Jr., it's that you don't go full retard.
Everybody knows you never go full retard.
You don't do it. Sean Penn in I Am Sam. You don't do it. You don't go full retard. And that's what this character basically was. She basically can't do anything for herself. And if you want someone who's actually like that in real life to then come and work on a film and act that way, you're going to have a bad time. It's going to take 27 years to make your movie. You're not going to be able to have any bright lights on set or any loud noises. And you're not going to be able to tell them what to do because they are severely mentally retarded in the literal definition of the term. So I don't know where these people get off saying it was inappropriate to have a neurotypical person playing this character. You can't have someone with that disorder playing that character. Does that mean that they needed an autistic actor to then, just any autistic person, even someone on the mild end of the spectrum, someone that you might have once called, I don't know if we still say Asperger's. I don't think we do because it sounds too much like Asperger's, thanks to South Park. Ugh. So what, you need to get someone that's on the spectrum to play that character, but then, I mean, how many autistic actors and actresses are there out there? I don't think there's that many. Is Danny Pudi, the guy that plays Abed on Community, or played Abed on Community, is he on the spectrum? I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe. I don't think so, though, because let's be honest, and I think any genuinely autistic people out there that are listening to this, and I've got 6 subscribers now. 6 subscribers, okay. So one of them, Charlie, is on the spectrum. I think they'd be in agreement with me when I say that I just don't see acting being a real role or a real avenue for them to go down. I don't mean that in a harsh way. It's like there aren't that many female bricklayers because women don't want to lay bricks.